Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and welcome to Let's Play Ratchet Deadlocked, Part 1. After Insomniac Games gave us 3 games of Ratchet and Clank, they wanted to make something different. Crash Bandicoot had 3 games on the PS1, and then their developers wanted to make something different. So they made something different. They made a kart racing game. Supposedly, Insomniac Games wanted to do that same thing with Ratchet and Clank, but they supposedly didn't want to make another racing game or another simple race game because that's what everyone else does. So they supposedly thought, let's just give it something, different. And they spin different for spin-off games. They gave us a battle game instead. We're only playing on the hardest difficulty ever, 5 out of 5. 5-star difficulty, and none of the weapons this is a fresh new save, so none of the weapons we've had before are going to be retained, so there won't be any, won't be starting off with a large arsenal of weapons and armor upgrades. We're just starting off with the bare basics, on the hardest difficulty ever. It's intended to be played if you have everything else in the game. This is the hardest way you could possibly play Ratchet Deadlocked. This is pretty much just a Ratchet and Clank game that doesn't have any platform. Well, it has some platforming, but not really a lot. It's pretty much just it's pretty much a Ratchet and Clank game without any platforming and without any puzzle solving. It's pretty much all 95% battling, mindless destruction, mindless battling, just what everyone likes in a Ratchet and Clank game. We're going to be brought into this deadly battle arena. We're going to have to fight to the death and kill everything we see, just so we could survive, just so we could make it to the end. And win, of course, because there's going to be a prize, of course, for winning. We're going to find ourselves in the Starship Phoenix again, this familiar location, this familiar venue we've seen in Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. And Ratchet still has girl trouble. He's still having issues talking to his girlfriend. Still wants to say something. He wants to give her a nice soliloquy about why he wants to date her and why he wants to do something a little bit more than that, I think. But then he doesn't know, but Clank turns it on, and then he's like, okay, so she has heard everything I said. She knows my secret now. All I could do now is move to the Solana Galaxy and pretend I'm someone else. But no, she's going to give us an actual genuine warning about that gladiator thing. And that's run by a guy named Gleeman Vox, who owns the Vox News Network and the Vox Sports Network too. And it's like some big TV channel thing that everyone in the galaxy watches, where they just have gladiator competitions and deadly sports. And for some reason it gets a lot of ratings. A lot of people seem to like it. Gleeman Vox looks like some sort of demented shark creature or something like that. Gleeman Vox, yeah, he looks like a major jerk. He looks like some major, Gleeman Vox, yeah. His name should be Seaman Vox, because he probably does. He belongs to as being a seaman in the army, in the Navy, since he's like the lowest possible thing could possibly exist. Just like the seamen are in the Navy, the lowest rank possible. Remember there was that movie I saw a long time ago called Too Late the Hero, where that guy was a lieutenant in the Navy, and then if he didn't do this dangerous job that involved fighting off the Japanese forces, he was gonna get sent home as a seaman, 2nd grade, or 2nd class, whatever they call them. So he would have had a major demotion on his part. So we've just been captured and now being brought to Gleeman Vox's place, the Vox Stadium, or the Vox, because we're going to get exposed on Vox News probably for all this, because Vox News is the most trusted source in the galaxy, most respected thing. We're going to see some guys that's probably named O'Reilly or O'Reilly or something that's going to be doing a rant about something. It's going to result in him probably getting into dropping a bunch of profanity on screen. And the FCC, or whatever their version of the FCC isn't going to care about this, because Gleeman Vox runs it all. Also, we could easily just pay them off. He's probably one of the richest people in the galaxy, which is why he could have this stadium and run all these games. Looks like Al fixed us up with some new suit. It looks like almost looks like Star Wars Republic Commando almost. Where those clones wore those suits where the visor inside is like a screen thing, click on stuff. It probably runs Windows XP, which would be pretty good, because Windows XP is better than anything else we use today. Just fixing it up a bit, like staticky, like it runs on analog signals. I'm pretty sure analog signals are going to make a comeback in the future. On Star Trek The Next Generation, they use analog signals on their TVs, so I'm pretty sure we'll make a comeback one of these days. And people realize how digital sucks and analog was the best all the time. Still going to be fixing up our battlesuit, which we're not really going to see as battlesuit that much, because I'm going to be using my favorite Easter egg in the game. You didn't think this game was free of Easter eggs, did you? Of course not. It's gonna have tons of Easter eggs, just what you'd expect for a Ratchet and Clank game. Even though this isn't really a Ratchet and Clank game. Well, I mean, in Japan, it's called Ratchet Clank, something Ginga Galaxy Galactic 4, which is like implying this game's Ratchet and Clank 4, but really in America, it's this brand as being a spin-off game. It's not even Ratchet and Clank, it's just Ratchet. Ratchet Deadlocked, not Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, Ratchet Deadlocked. First training simulation thing where we're going to be learning our controls and how we're going to be moving. Like, oh, press the right analog to look right, to pan left or right, just like in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So if you enter this code is up, right, down, right to left, right to right. If you enter in that code on the pause screen, it will unlock this Pipo Monkey skin from Ape Escape. Yeah, that's right. I'll be able to play as a monkey from Ape Escape, another monkey from Ape Escape that somehow got lost in the Solana Galaxy again. Well, it's a different one this time around, because this is a yellow pants monkey, the most generic, the most iconic, well-known type of monkey we'll see in the Ape Escape franchise, and we're playing as it right now in this game. Yeah, the people who made this game, did the Japanese localization of this, knew that the people in Japan really loved Ape Escape and Ratchet and Clank. Their two favorite things ever. So they thought, oh, let's just mix them together then. It also did it in Japanese and European and Korean versions of Ape Escape 3 as well too, by putting the Ape Ratchet in there. I think the Ape Ratchet may have even been mentioned in one of the, the Korean instruction book for this game mentions there's an Ape Ratchet in Ape Escape 3. I use that as proof of the Korean version of Ape Escape 3 is real. This is just like basic testing, like, oh, see how your weapons work, and shoot the targets, and shoot that. And our skins don't transfer over to the cutscenes, because we're not going to really see what the Pipo Monkey in the cutscenes are like in Up Your Arsenal, which is kind of a shame. We're supposedly now meeting Gleeman Vox. And he's going to be telling us more about this game, this deadly game thing we're going to be going into. And he's probably saying that he's not responsible for anything that happens to us, even though he clearly abducted us and brought us into this game. His own game, this jerk brought us in there. He's just going on about more crap and more nonsense about the game and all this stuff that we don't really care about. He'd be talking about spaghetti and meatballs and it wouldn't make any difference to what we're going to be going through. You can say, like, oh, you're gonna die. The battlesuit that Ratchet's wearing looks very much like the battlesuits that the Lightstormers wore in Disruptor. Yeah, another nod to an Insomniac Games game. This is our first real battleground. We're gonna be using this weapon we have. It's a lot like the Shock Blaster we had in Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. This weapon's very useless. One of the most useless weapons in the game. It's hard to get it fully upgraded. And it doesn't really cover a lot of range. It really works best when you're like at close range, and even then, it doesn't really do much damage. Later in this game, we're gonna get much better weapons. This game is a lot like Mega Man X3, where when you start off, you don't really have any good weapons, and you don't really have much good armor either. Things could kill you easily in just a few hits. But of course, as you progress through the game, we're gonna be getting armor upgrades. Armor upgrades are naturally given to us throughout the progression of the game. It doesn't require buying them separately like it did in the last two Ratchet and Clank games. And there's still nanotech upgrades too, just like there have been in pretty much every Ratchet and Clank game since Ratchet and Clank 2, going commando. He's going to be going to more of his threatening speeches saying, oh, we built some kind of chip into you. If you try to escape, we'll blow you up, just like those slaves on Tatooine. If you try to leave, we'll blow you up. You're pretty much a slave to me now. Or I'll blow up your head like I'm gonna do to those robots. Your head will get blown off and your head will get frickin' blown off and you'll have no chance of escaping then. Well, you can't escape if your head exploded. And Clank's gonna be narrating a lot of this game too, telling us a bunch of facts about this game or stuff we can do in this game. But I've played this game hundreds of times over and over, and I'm very familiar with this game. I own 2 copies of this game, technically speaking. Yeah, I bought one a long time ago at that store, that game store I worked at 10 years ago. But that copy, the last bit of it stopped working, so I bought another copy of this game. And now I have the Japanese version that I play a lot of the time too. This probably is one of my most played Ratchet and Clank games. I don't know why I've played this one a lot. It's not even my most favorite one in the series. Heck, it's not even my second favorite in the series. Going Commando is my second favorite in the series. And I'll be doing a Let's Play of that one eventually. So I don't know when, but I like to think I will. like just run around. We have the Omni Wrench. And we actually do have Omni Wrench upgrades in this game too that we have to buy. They're not free anymore like they were in Going Commando. See Al's rocking out to Courtney Gears again, that song Death to Squishies. It's kind of ironic because it's something that does impact him. It's a song that's anti-squishies, anti-organics, and he's an organic, so I think he's rocking out to his own doom pretty much. He's going to introduce us to these new robots. They'll be our sidekicks throughout the course of this game. They don't really offer much other than getting blasted every 5 frickin' seconds and constantly needing our help to revive them, just like those clones from Star Wars Republic Commando. There's another similarity of this game and Republic Commando I've spotted. It's almost like this game was trying to be PS2's Star Wars Republic Commando, almost. I mean, Republic Commando didn't come out on PS2, that only came out on PC and Xbox. This is like the PS2's way of trying to compete with Republic Commando. This game also came out in 2005, the same year as Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. It's also the same year the movie Robots came out, and there was a villain in that movie that was even named Ratchet. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but this is what Clank is going to be doing throughout most of the game. He's just going to have a white-collar job who just sits behind the desk and types things into the computer and speaks about stuff. Yeah, Clank has it easy in this game. He doesn't get to battle at all, really, or solve intricate puzzles, or crawl into things, or any of that stuff. No, he has it pretty easy. This is Ratchet's game, not Clank's game. Clank's gonna get his own game in 3 years from now, and it's gonna be a game that everyone will hate. It's gonna be taking us to one of the battlegrounds. That's that transport ship, that battle transport ship thing we're gonna be riding around. I hope you like that transport battleship, because we're going to be riding in it a lot throughout the course of this game. It's not really a battleship. We never actually do any battling with it. I mean, I have to admit, this isn't the worst kind of prison imaginable. I'm sure there's tons of prisons that are way worse than Gleeman Vox's game show. It's also a bit like Smash TV. If you like a Smash TV if it were a third-person shooter, this game pretty much is a third-person shooter like Star Wars Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's like a mix of Star Wars Battlefront with Ratchet and Clank. Oh look, on the planet Veldin, some Tyrannoids that supposedly survived the last game are in some sort of soap opera. And Gleeman Vox is going to be going on more about why TV sucks these days. If you want to watch real quality TV, you have to watch the Vox Network. And it's always run by him. I wonder if he's going to run for any kind of office at some point in the future and win because he could buy off all the votes. Yeah, he probably would, and people are going to be protesting him, and, well, we'll try and make sure that doesn't happen in the future, because we have the weapons to stop him. We have tons of weapons to go against him, make sure that political future of his doesn't happen. He's going to be boasting on more about the Vox Stadium, why stadium's like state of the art. Yeah, state of the art for getting killed, that is. This guy's like, oh, you're gonna be fighting against Ace Hardlight. He's gonna whoop your ass pretty easily. Because that's what he is. He's Whoopi's Ace Hardlight. He's the greatest superhero, or one of the greatest superheroes in the galaxy. You know, what does this galaxy have with superheroes that aren't really that super? And are more villains than actual heroes? Those are the news anchors and the news reporters, the sportscasters we're going to be seeing for the course of this game. Dallas and Juanita. They're going to be narrating a lot of the game too. It's like this game's on TV pretty much. Kind of like Super Mario 64. Only we're constantly being reminded that this game is on TV. Hey Truman, you're on TV! We're gonna go into our first battle. Yeah, this is technically the first level, one of the first levels of this game, and it's kicked my ass so many times. I'm gonna have to do this level over and over again. It's the first level, because we're so ill-equipped. I did it so many times that I already just got one health upgrade. Yeah, one lousy nanotech upgrade from attempting the level like 72 times already. I don't think any of you guys, I'm cutting all that out, because I don't think any of you guys want to see me attempt the same level like 55, 72 some odd frickin' times. I don't think yeah, that's not very fun. This is 10 hours of me failing. I don't think any of you want to see that. You know, I put that on a new YouTube channel I'm considering making called Raw Phoenix, or it's just simply the raw footage of all of my Let's Plays. Mostly because archive.org is becoming more and more unreliable these days. It's getting much harder to upload stuff to archive.org. I don't know if their legal issues they've been experiencing lately have anything to do with this, but yeah, it's been getting worse for them all the time. And it's becoming much slower and more, less reliable and more. They've been hacked once, at least once too, in a cyber attack. Yes, that's not pretty good. I mean, that's not good. That's why I need another place to back up all my raw footage shooting. The only other great place I could think of is YouTube. Where else? You mean YouTube is the greatest video sharing website there is. If YouTube didn't exist, I probably wouldn't be making these videos right now. How else would you share videos in a world without YouTube? That's why not very many people made videos like these before 2005, where they record themselves playing games and record commentary over it. That's why it was such an odd thing that time Chris Chan recorded himself playing Animal Crossing in 2003 on his GameCube. And then he mentioned a bunch of his anti-PlayStation and Microsoft propaganda. It's almost like he knew the future, because nowadays I don't really like much modern PlayStation stuff or modern Sony stuff these days, and Xbox is starting to lose their identity. If only they could have more games like Ratchet Deadlocked, they'd probably be in a much better condition right now. But they don't, but they don't. That's why they're losing right now. Supposedly that new Ratchet and Clank game, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on Steam, is very similar to this, in which it doesn't really have any puzzle solving. It's just 95% action. No one knows. I never played the new Ratchet and Clank game, and I don't have a PS5, so I can only play the Steam version of it. There's someone asking me if this game is on Steam. No, this game is not on Steam, but it should be, though. It would be a lot of fun if they made a Steam version of this with graphical enhancements and the ability to add mods. Imagine if you could mod this game, like add your own characters, your own OCs, your own waifus into this game so you can play as them in this game. That would be awesome. I'd love to do that, to play as my own characters in this Ratchet Deadlocked. That'd be a very awesome experience, I think. But of course, it's too good to exist. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Like, why would it exist? You know, every time I have a good idea, it always gets shot down by something. Since when a good idea has ever come to fruition? We unlocked a new suit of armor. No, it's not a suit of armor. It's some sort of badge, I think. We unlocked this for completing the first level. Yeah, it's the first level's one of the hardest things in the game. We won a 1,500 bolt reward for that. We got some other sorts of stupid awards, and we got a new planet unlocked. Ooh, a new planet that we could go to. We do travel to different planets in this game, where they host different battlegrounds. And there we are with Ace Hardlight. The superhero in this game is not so superhero, he's really one of the villains. He's in Gleeman Vox really wants to promote Ace Hardlight by selling Ace Hardlight merchandise. This is where all the real money is made. Ace Hardlight the coloring book. Ace Hardlight the flamethrower. The kids love that one. Ace Hardlight the breakfast cereal. Ace Hardlight the coloring book. Ace Hardlight the doll. And it's me, Gleeman Vox. Yeah, 'cause everyone loves to play with a doll of Gleeman Vox. He has so much merchandise in the background all boxed up, and little does he know, it's gonna suffer the same fate as Disney's Star Wars merchandise. Why are Last Jedi toys still on the shelves 5 years later? Only Gleeman Vox can know the answer to that. I guess this game predicted Disney's fate of Star Wars, and Disney's empire, and their worthless empire in general. It's all predicted by this one PS2 game from 2005. This game really was so much ahead of the times. It's still pretty enjoyable and pretty well today as a game in this day and age. Ray Phoenix, signing out.